Okay, well, hello everyone. Um, it's been a few days since I recorded last, and I am going to try again to record a tutorial on how to use Star. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm going to move away from the OBS window because you don't need to see this. And, let's begin. So, right now, the File Explorer window with the Star Client files is currently displayed. And I will go ahead and launch the client. To run it, you can run star.exe. Now, I just ran it and it connected on its own because I already have it configured. Now, if you didn't have a configuration yet, it would warn you that you need to add a host or that you need to run locally. So, what you do then is the options button here, which I'm pointing to with the mouse. If you click this, it opens up a new dialog with several things in it, where you can set the host, delete any that you have saved, change where the files get rendered, change the file template that's used for said rendering. Now, unfortunately, okay, so it is focusing. Okay. There's a text field next to the one where you can set the render template with information about what can be included in terms of like wildcard information, which lets you make it so that the program will autofill certain things like the line number or the voice name or something. And the amount of silence box, which is right here, and it might be displaying small, and I'm sorry, this determines if you were to render everything all at once as one stream, this determines how much of a gap it would put between lines. Voice preview text defines what the preview text is when you press space on a voice in the list. You can change the audio output device here, so I'm not going to change it because it's already set fine. You can make it so that it clears the directory for you. And if you have a cache of generated audio files on your system and you need to clear it, it would show that. Now, I don't know. Okay, so the button shows up, but it's grayed out, so yeah, it would be available if you had any files cached from previous conversions or previewing voices. And of course, there's the OK and cancel buttons. But the mouse doesn't properly focus these, unfortunately. There, now the thing should be in full screen at least. So now that we're back in the main interface, I can explain this. So, the first thing here is a list of voices. I'm actually going to see which coagulator I am connected to. Okay, so I'm connected to this one. Okay, it's just not as active as it was. Okay, I'm gonna hit escape. Now, what you can do in this voice list is you can move through it. You can even, I think you can scroll. Yeah, like if I move the mouse to this item and scroll, it'll let me scroll past, I think. Yep, it does. And when you're here, you can do a few things. You can select the voice and press space on it, and that will preview the voice. I'm not gonna. I'll pick a normal voice first, so that I'm not using something that takes credits.
Hello there, my name is Jamie Enhanced.
Yeah, so if you press space on any voice, it'll generate a preview using the preview text set in options. So if I do it with this one, this is a Mac voice. that's kind of that's kind of silly. But but yeah, you can preview voices with the preview text. If you're looking for a specific voice, you can press Control F to type part of a voice name. So if I wanted to look for a voice that had Sam in the name, I could type Sam and press Enter. And that puts me on Samantha, since that's the next voice in the list that contains what I typed. And just like with a lot of other stuff, you can press F3 to move to the next occurrence, and Shift F3 to move to the previous. So if you're looking for a specific voice, this can help, because you can scroll through voices that contain what you typed in the search box. One thing that is missing, though, is you cannot go to a specific index. This can be added. I just don't know when it will be, because yes, I am in talks with the developer and he knows about this. But the other thing you can do from here, which is important, is copying voice names. So if I wanted to copy this voice name to my clipboard, I can just press Control C, which is the standard, as you may know, is the standard shortcut for copying anything on a computer, at least one that isn't a Mac. So the next item here, if I press Tab, is the Quick Speak box. Now, you might notice there's two edit boxes. One of them you can't focus with a mouse, unfortunately. This is a bug. We can fix it. I'll have to report this, but it should be able to be fixed. But Quick Speak, if you type something here and press Enter, it will allow you to preview the voice with custom text. So I could write "this is a test" into the Quick Speak box and press Enter.
This is a test.
And it uses the currently selected voice in the voice list. So I could see how "this is a test" sounds on any voice in this list just by moving to it and then pressing Enter in the Quick Speak box.
This is a test. This is a test.
Yeah, so it's that simple to preview voices, see what specific lines sound like. And then the main attraction here is the script box. Now, whoops. Okay. Sorry about that. If I press Enter Script here, if I move to it at least, this is where Star really shines. It's a multi-line field that lets you enter multi-voice scripts. Now, the way this works, at a basic level, is you put a voice name at the beginning of every line, then a colon, then the text that you want spoken by that voice. So, let's just write an example here. We already copied a voice name from earlier, but I'll pick a different voice. And I will make a little script here so that we can demo it here. Now, this is just a 2-line script, and this is probably the most basic thing I can think of. But there are more things you can do, and I'm not going to go into them here because I figure it'll be an easier thing to go through more advanced stuff, like all the rest of the stuff the script system supports, by reading the manual, because it is very well documented on purpose. But now that I have a script in here, I could render it, but say I want to preview it to make sure that it all works. I can do this in a few different ways. The main one being, I can use up and down arrows to move through lines normally and move the cursor and edit and whatever. But if I use Control Alt and up and down arrows, it will synthesize the lines that I'm moving over using the voices that are set. So if I move up with Control Alt up.
Hi, my name is Steven.
Hi, Steven. I'm doing great right now. Just helping out with the Star Client demo.
Yep, so as I move through these lines, since I formatted them correctly, it will synthesize them. Now I'm going to fix this line. I'm going to tighten the script a little bit. It would help if I could spell. I guess nobody's perfect, but...
Hi, my name is Steven. Anyone else?
Hi, Steven. I'm here, just helping out with the Star Client demo.
So, yeah, this is just a revised version of the test script that kind of flows better. Now, if you want to...
Hi, Steven.
Hi.
You can repeat
My name
the
is
line.
Steven. Anyone else here? Hi.
You can repeat the current line you're on with Control-Alt-Space, and you can press...
Hi. My name is Steven.
You can press Control-Alt-Enter to play from the current line down, so it will play until either the bottom of the script or until it encounters an error. And if you ever want to stop the output, you can press Alt-Backspace. That will pause the playback of whatever's currently playing, and then pressing it again will resume. So that's the script box, which is probably the most important part of this whole setup. Now, if I press Tab, it's another text field, and this one, it lets you define a subfolder for the output. So if I wanted to create a folder called star demo, I can write star demo in here, and then if I rendered, it would render to a subfolder in the output directory called star demo. Whoops, my watch just went off. That's okay. Which I will leave this here so that I can demo outputting without cluttering up my main output directory. Now, what I will show you here, I'll press render now, which will render these two lines as two separate files in WAV format to the disk in the output folder. It should be pretty quick. Whoops, or not. Whoops. Let's fix this. Hold on. Well, that's weird. Hold on. Okay, that's weird. Why would it do that? Okay, I'll ignore this for now. I'll just put... Why? That makes no sense.
Hello there, my name is Laquendo Susan.
No renderable data. I've never seen that. I'm gonna write something else. Hold on. I just want to see. I want to see if this is just the thing being weird. Okay, that worked. But for some reason, this doesn't. Okay, that makes no sense. I'll have to see if that can be fixed. But I did render a file, and I can show you this file here. It went into the output directory, so... And I do have a couple of other things in here. Don't worry about those. But 01.wave is the output file. I'm using the most basic template right now, but you can change it, as I showed earlier. But if I open this up, and yes, it launches in Reaper, because Reaper is my default audio program.
Testing for render purposes.
And that works just fine. Now, it would do the same thing if you had a multi-line script. It would just generate more files, or one file if you create a consolidated file name. But, yeah, that does work. I don't know if there's anything else to demo, well, but I will say, if you go to this thing again, now say I wanted to render to some consolidated file name, it would be, I would write the file name directly, including any subfolder. So if I wanted to write, say, have it write to a folder called star demo, but also make a file called combined.wave that combines all the lines, I can write that into the thing. And then if I actually put and then I put a second line here. Yep, and it created the folder, and it created a file called combined.wave.
Let's hope that this works.
Or not. Hold on. Did it throw an error?
Let's hope that this works.
Oh, apparently it's an unrecognized line because I forgot a colon. Silly me. Let's actually see if this works again.
Testing a multi-line file render.
Let's hope that this works.
Yep, and it does. But this is the basics of how the Star client works, and if you can get to grips with how the scripting works, I feel like this could be very helpful in making videos, as the whole point of this being created in the first place was to ease the production of lines for text-to-speech skits and similar things, and that can extend to anything. It doesn't have to be just blind people making skits. It could be anybody that has to use a bunch of TTS voices at once. Beyond/Rapper Offline videos come to mind, because I watch a lot of them. Yeah, and I hope this has been informative, and I hope this is helpful. So I will end the video now.